A very good morning and warm welcome to all of you. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the first convocation ceremony of Madras School of Economics. To begin this auspicious occasion, I invite our MSE first year students to invoke Tamil Thai Varthu. May I request all of you to just please stand for this invocation.
இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திரும்பி என்று செயல்மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. Take your seats. It's now my pleasure to introduce the dignitaries of the dais. With us we have Professor LAXMAN KARANDIKAR. He is the chairman of National Statistical Commission and he is Professor Emeritus of this Chennai Mathematical Institute. Professor KARANDIKAR is an Indian mathematician, renowned Indian mathematician, statistician, and he has served multiple institutes, and he is a fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences and the National Science Academy. And we have our beloved chairman, Padma Vibhushan Dr. C. RANGARAJAN, former chairman of Economic Advisory Council to Prime Minister and former Reserve Bank Governor of India, and our institute director, Dr. K.R. I request our student representatives to offer the bouquets to our dignitaries. First to Professor KARANDIKAR. And to our chairman. And to our director. May I take the pleasure of requesting our director to welcome the gathering.
Respected Dr. C. RANGARAJAN, former Chairman of Economic Advisory Council to Prime Minister of India, former Governor of Reserve Bank of India and Chairman of Madras School of Economics, respected Dr. RAJEEVA LAXMAN KARANDIKAR, the Chairman of National Statistical Commission, Government of India, and our Chief Guest today, Mr. Skandan, retired IAS, member of the Governing Council of Madras School of Economics, faculty, staff, special invitees, and graduating students of MSE and their parents. I am extremely happy to extend a warm welcome to all of you for the first convocation of Madras School of Economics. I am delighted to inform you that MSE was founded in 1995 by the late Dr. Raja Chellaiah. Till last year, MSE was awarding MA degrees to our MA students through affiliating universities. Earlier by Anna University, then IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University, and then CUTL, the Central University of Tamil Nadu. With the blessings and guidance of our chairman, Padma Vibhushan Dr. C. RANGARAJAN, MSE has obtained the status of institution of special importance, with a degree granting power in economics, allied subjects and management through a special act called MSE Act 2020, passed by the government of Tamil Nadu in 2020. Already, All India Council for Technical Education has recognized the MSE as a new technical institution which has enabled MSE to start our PGDM programs. This is our first convocation in which the students from 5 MA programs, namely MA General Economics, MA Financial Economics, MA Actuarial Economics, MA Applied Quantitative Finance, and MA Environmental Economics, receive their degrees directly from Madras School of Economics. So this is the first point. Also, our students from two postgraduate diploma programs in management, namely Finance and Research and Business Analytics, receive their diplomas today. At this first convocation, Dr. LAXMAN Karandikar is our chief guest, delivering the convocation address and distributing the gold medals to toppers of our MA programs. Currently, he is the chairman of National Statistical Commission, Government of India. As already introduced by Dr. Jarina, he is a renowned mathematician and statistician of our country. He served as the director of Chennai Mathematical Institute from 2010 to 2021. He is former chairman of the working group of NSS, National Sample Survey 71st round. He is a fellow of the Indian Academy of Science and the Indian National Science Academy. He is well known for his applied works over last 25 years relating to statistics and mathematics. One best example is his opinion poll based election prediction. We are thankful to you, sir, for agreeing our request to be the chief guest of the first convocation of MSE. Once again, I welcome you for this special event, sir. Last year, we have started BA Honors program in economics. We are now planning to start a MS degree program in data science from next year. Since MSE adopts the quantitative and data-driven approach, it has been able to attract the students from all over India. Our placement record is almost 90 to 100% every year. Many of our students also pursue higher studies in well-reputed institutions in both India and abroad. In addition to our teaching programs, MSE has a strong research component. Our priority areas of research are public finance, macro modeling, finance, environmental economics, industrial economics, international trade, insurance economics, data science and business analytics. We have successfully completed about 200 research projects, sponsored research projects funded by various national and international agencies. MSE has published almost 300 working papers and monographs on our website. MSE was designated as the Center of Excellence in Environmental Economics by the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. It established MSE GE Money Decision Science Lab with the support of the GE Money. Recently, it has established a Center for Public Finance funded by the Government of Tamil Nadu. I am sure that MSE will become one of the best academic institutions for both the teaching and research in economics, allied subjects and management. With this, let me once again welcome all of you for the first convocation of MSE. My hearty congratulations to all the MA students who receive gold medals and degree certificates, and the postgraduate diploma students who receive the diplomas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shanmugam. I request our student volunteer to hand over the bouquet to Mrs. Mallika Samuel, Dr. Raja Chelaya's daughter, and she is a founder, Dr. Raja Chelaya's daughter. Thanks for blessing your presence in this occasion, ma'am. I request our director to felicitate our chief guest. And our chairman will hand over the memento to the chief guest. I take immense pleasure in requesting our chairman to declare the convocation ceremony open.
The convocation of the Madras School of Economics has been called to confer the degrees upon the candidates who, in the examinations recently held for the purpose, have been certified to be worthy of the name.
We deem it a privilege to introduce our chief guest to the August gathering. As rightly mentioned by our director, Dr. Professor Karandikar is a renowned mathematician and he works with the big data and the exit polls and the overall scenario of forecasting was in the news articles and in the news channels through his presence, and tomorrow we are also awaiting the overall results. So I request the chief guest, Professor Karandikar, to deliver the convocation address to the graduating students of MSE.
Dear Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Shanmugam, Dr. Irfan, faculty members of MSE, students and other guests. I am very happy to be at the first convocation of the Madras School of Economics. I would like to thank Dr. Rangarajan and Dr. Shanmugam for the invitation. I heartily congratulate the students who are going to get their degree today. Degree as well as medals. Some will get medals, of course. So you are all fortunate to enter the professional world in these times, when the question on your mind perhaps is, which job should I take, as opposed to say 5 decades ago, when the question in minds of most graduating students was, will I get a job? So these are exciting times. Make full use of your stay at MSE and whatever you have learned and more. This is not the end, but this is the beginning. The opinion polls and exit polls, etc. was mentioned, and then tomorrow is the poll. Firstly, I have not been doing it for last several years, so I have no clue about tomorrow what will happen as compared to what you know. But yeah, in the past for over 20 years I have been associated with it, but today I am not going to talk about it, maybe another occasion. So the connection between mathematics, statistics, probability theory on one hand and economics and finance on the other hand has been well understood for at least last 50 years, if not more. Both have played supporting roles for each other, and have the economics and finance applications has given new questions in mathematics, and in turn the mathematical answers have given some clarified scenarios in economics. So to give a simple example, if you go 75 years ago, different people working in stock markets, they were of different views. One group felt that if you have some money, you figure out what is the best investment and put all your money in there. There were other groups who said, no, we should diversify. And this was like an ideological event, because how do you decide which one is better? Till it was resolved by Markowitz in a PhD thesis. I have heard that when his PhD thesis came for approval, his committee members said, but where is economics? Why should he get a degree in economics? He had been persuaded to get the degree, to sign up the degree, and of course, rest is history. He went on to get a Nobel Prize for that work and so on. So this is just to give an example that it is a both-way street. And indeed, in my view, the role of moving the focus, the mathematics has played a role of moving the focus in economics from just ideologies to outcomes as evident by data. And that continues. During the last decade, data science, big data, analytics have become buzzwords, and increasingly there have been questions if this, in this new world, does statistics, probability theory, does it have any role? We just get hold of a chunk of data and that will give us all the answers. This is a phrase I have heard from people. Okay? Just push the data to a data science engine, as they call it, will tell you everything. And this has reached a crescendo last year with ChatGPT entering the frame. Okay? That what do you need? You just put the data and your ChatGPT will figure out its own data from the internet. You don't need even to provide data. It will figure out all the answers. Well, it's not that easy. So this perception will also move to economics and finance world if it has not moved already. And I would like to stress to the students that whether they go to corporate world or government policy making, while we have come a long way from the time when you take a book of which was written in statistics 50 years ago, it would say if you have 30 data points, it is large enough and you can apply the following theory. So 30 was considered large. Today, even a lakh is not considered large. You have not yet reached a million or so on and so forth. So we have moved that way, but so the tools and techniques developed then may or may not be relevant today, but the statistical ideas are as relevant today as before, perhaps even more relevant today because they are being used a lot more. Okay? And it's one thing to say this and you'll say, old timer is saying this. What else do you expect from somebody with white hair to say that it is important? Other thing could be for me to cook up some examples and you say that, if this, then a question can be asked, what if that doesn't happen? Then why? Right? So I find it interesting to produce examples from history, historically events which have happened, how it played an interesting role and how not looking at it gave them a wrong answer. And so what I call perils of purely data-driven inference, which is what currently we seem to be moving. Many people seem to think that that's all there is. You have data and then you get a conclusion. So let's go back 150 years ago. Okay? Francis Galton, he was a cousin of Darwin, a little younger, and with Darwin's theory of evolution making such a big impact, Galton was focusing his attention on what if everything is going to happen through genetics and evolution, what will happen to intelligence? Okay? The question was, will intelligence move up or will it move down? And so this is sentence what he wrote, this is going back 150 years. It is some years since I made an extensive series of experiments on the produce of seeds in different size, but of the same species. They yielded results that seem very noteworthy, and I used them as a basis for a lecture at Royal Institute in 1877. So, it appeared from these experiments that offsprings did not tend to resemble their parent seeds in size, but always be more mediocre than they meaning parent. Okay? To be smaller than the parents if parents are large, and to be larger than parents if parents are small. So here we are talking about size of seed. Okay? He felt that this is a generic trait and the same thing will be seen when you try to observe anything else. So he obtained data on heights of parents and grown-up sons and to get a confirmation on his ideas. And the data showed to him that his ideas continue to hold when he is measuring heights. If father is taller than average, then the predicted height of the son would be less than that of the father and the opposite in the other side. This confirmed his hypothesis. He further argued that these phenomena would continue over generations and as a result, heights of future offsprings will continue to move towards the average height. Which is why he chose the title of his paper, Regression Towards Mediocrity in Hereditary Traits. Now, of course, we can see that over 150 years the heights have not gone towards the average, but the word regression has stayed. The most used tool in statistics in any kind of application is regression, and I always used to wonder that why does it have a negative connotation? Regress is opposite of progress, right? So because he thought that this is regression towards mediocrity, that's why the phrase regression. He also postulated the same would be the case for characteristics including intelligence. And then they made disastrous recommendations that you find a young boy and a girl who are very intelligent and give them money to have as many children as they can as soon as possible. These kind of policies were written out, fortunately not followed, but anyway. Eugenics as a phrase became very popular. There were eugenics professors. In fact, Carl Pearson and Ronald Fisher were eugenics professors. And now the word eugenics is forgotten, fortunately. But Galton, today people can argue Galton did not have big data. He was only looking at small data. Perhaps if big data, then he won't get such an answer. Let's say today we can obtain data from heights of individuals and their father's height, say from passport database. You can match son and father, and if the father had also applied for the passport, then you can get the father's height, son's height, grown-up son's height, and you can get lakhs of data. If not millions, you can certainly get lakhs of such data. Interestingly, any data-driven tool, analytics, big data, AI, ML, any of them will confirm the conclusion reached by Galton. You ask this question, you predict the height of the sun, it will confirm what Galton has. Of course, the conclusion is wrong, and it is because you have not applied your statistical thought completely, you have just looked at data. So the term eugenics is now forgotten, but the impact persists. In fact, in this I have the article, there is a website where, and it is from a US government website, the National Human Genome Research Institute, and in there they predominantly say the following sentence: eugenics is an inaccurate theory linked to historical and present day forms of discrimination, racism, colonialism. It is persisted in policies and beliefs around the world, including at United States. So this whole thing started with Galton believing in the data and not applying the statistical thought completely. Maybe he had, it was pointed out to him, but he was sold on his conclusion that he didn't listen to anybody. Okay, let me quickly move to 15 decades from Galton era and to current time, the COVID times. In May 2020, within 6 weeks of or 8 weeks of lockdown globally or most places in the world, Lancet published an article about use of HCQ, hydrochloroquine, in treating COVID-19 infection. The paper claimed to analyze what they claimed to be a real-world evidence and seemed to show that HCQ is not useful in treating COVID-19 infection and actually may be worsening the situation. Okay. WHO, World Health Organization, immediately stopped clinical trials on HCQ the very next day. In India, in absence of any other medical facility, any other thought as what will work, may not work, so the frontline workers were being administered HCQ because that is the only thing that the experts could think may have an impact. Of course, Indian media went hammer and tongs attacking, it is worsening, why are you feeding them this? ICMR was very clear that they continued to do this. So, the then CSIR director was my friend, and he is not a statistician, he is a biologist, and he sent the paper to me and he said that, what do you think, is there any merit in this paper? Should we try to recommend to ICMR not to use HCQ? And reading the paper, I found that the authors had not taken into account as to how the patients who were given HCQ were chosen. It simply had data, how many people were given HCQ, how many of them died, how many were not given HCQ, how many of them died. And the ratios, the HCQ ones was higher. And my thought was, if I were a doctor and I have limited supply of HCQ and lots of patients are coming in, what will I do? Those who need it most is what I will give. So people with very severe explainable or what could be observed traits would be given. And obviously, therefore, the death rates will be more in that. So in the absence of this, the conclusion is completely false. But no data-driven tool will fault the conclusion derived in that paper, you see. This is well known in statistics as well as in the economics applications of statistics and data. In economics, it is called omitted variable bias. Okay. that it's another matter that the Lancet paper was withdrawn as it was discovered that the data itself was fake. But the damage was done. If the editors of the journal or the WHO experts or the authors themselves were aware of omitted variable bias in particular and more statistical ideas, perhaps this would not have happened. In fact, as it turns out, HCQ was not useful, but what if it was? The data was fake and WHO had stopped clinical trials without knowing that is it good or not good. So ICMR found that while it is not quite recommended as a medicine, but as a prevention, it was still serving its purpose and they were right in doing what they did. Okay. So, last example, once again I go back in history, but not 150 years, but World War II years. So, World War II era was very early years of aircraft entering the public. So there were small aircraft going fairly low, and World War I there is not much thing about aircraft, though it was there but very minimal. Recently I came to know that even World War I, Madras had been bombed a little by the Allied by the Axis aircraft. So it was there, not true that it was not there in World War II, but minimal. By World War II, nothing much had changed, only 25 years, and there was no anti-aircraft guns. The aircrafts are flying low, and people were using the standard gun to aim at the aircraft and shoot. There was no way of, targeted shooting. Today they can hit a target, and if the aircraft moves, so will your bullet or whatever you are firing, right? None of that. So aircrafts were flying low and usual guns were used to fire them, and some aircrafts went down. This is British data. So they were bombing Berlin, and Germany was bombing London, not the front line where the war is going on, but psychological warfare. Okay. So somebody was collecting data on all the aircrafts which were returning to UK, and where were they hit. And they did a routine analysis and what I call naive analysis of data. It was suggested that parts where most hits were found are susceptible and therefore should be strengthened. Okay. So they draw graphs and they said, these are the parts that is mostly being hit, so let's put more strength in them. They were constructing new aircraft and just feeding them to the war machine, right? So they said just improve that. So Professor Abraham Wald was a consultant to US Army. He was a professor and in New York, and therefore the US Army was involving them in decision making and so on. This thing was, decision was made in, or the recommendation was made in UK, but it was shared with US, which were their allies, and this came to Abraham Wald. He saw this whole analysis differently. His model, so this is not exactly what he wrote, but this is my words. Whole lot of information about this is now available in declassified information on the web. Abraham Wald, World War II era, etc., etc. If you search, you will find. And from there, so gist of all these documents, very complicated written, I put it like this, that his model was that bullets were fired randomly on the aircraft and were not targeted to any specific part of the aircraft, which is easy to believe and easy to read from the documents. The effort of hits in a given area of the aircraft was independent of effect of hits in any other area. So today it is not true. Today there is redundancy. If an aircraft can fly with 2 engines, they will ensure that it has at least 3 engines, so that even if one engine goes down, you can still fly and come down. Okay. So today there is a whole lot of redundancy built in various things, controls in the aircraft. It was not the case then. And therefore, it is reasonable at that time to assume that impact of hit here and impact of hit here are independent. If it hit here goes down, it will go down whether or not the other effect place was hit earlier. So this was the important part of his model. Pages after pages reading this, I could write this as one sentence. So this was valid assumption at that time. both assumptions are not valid today. Today you have targeted shooting and there is a whole lot of redundancy built in. Now, once you make these models, the conclusion, you don't need much statistical theory, and it is almost clear that the parts where you see a lot of hits, it really doesn't matter that they don't go down, because all parts are equally likely to be hit. The parts where you don't see a hit is what you need, because you have not seen any aircraft just come down which is hit in this portion. This must be string. So the statistical idea, statistical model, statistical thought gave him diametrically opposite conclusion. Okay? And fortunately for him, because people may or may not have believed a statistical expert telling you do this, don't do that. But interestingly, once you look at it, it is very clear that the conclusion was right, because the part which was not seen hit, and amongst the aircraft which are coming back was the engine. So the general said, of course that is true. Okay. So this gives another aspect, that anything coming out of a statistical system also, after all it is based on some model, based on some data, you may be hitting the wrong model also. So you must validate or cross-check intuition, what the conclusion is coming, and intuition. It may not, sometimes it may be wrong, but then you put extra stress in your analysis. And if after that you say it still holds, you accept that. So all this is extensively written in statistical literature long back, and all that continues to have a role, as I said, more than before, because it is being used in a lot more context. And the impact of making a wrong decision today could be disastrous. Okay. So, be it big data, be it AI/ML, be it ChatGPT, all these are good. In most of the time, you don't need to worry much, as long as you are someone who looks at what is the conclusion, is it reasonable, especially for questions in which the impact of wrong decision may be huge. You put extra emphasis there and let it happen if it seems all right. If not, give it another thought. So, importance of domain knowledge and building a good model. So, only data will not do. If I say I am a hotshot statistician and I don't need anything, just give me data, I will apply statistical theory in addition to AI/ML tools, and do the answer no. We still need to have an interaction with the domain experts. Only then would one get the full intelligence out of the available data, and that will give us the right data frame right framework to interpret and analyze data. And I chose this because those of you who won't go to either corporate world or policy making, you are going to face with these questions sooner or later. Somebody is going to challenge that, this is what ChatGPT says, this is what my AI/ML tool says. They can bring in names of entities which have developed this model as the top entities, top experts. You can still say all that is okay, but I am still going to give it a thought. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Karandikar, for enlightening our students, the present analysts and the forthcoming researchers who are working with the big data and are more enthusiastic to work with the big data. And I request our chief guest to award the gold medal to the students. May I request our Dean, Professor Kavikumar, to read out the names of the duly qualified students.
That's what I was wondering, what will be a good place to start.
Good morning. Sir, I present unto you these candidates who have been certified after the examination to be duly qualified to receive the gold medals under different MA in economics programs at Madras School of Economics. We are presenting the medals to the winners from the previous batches also, whom could not present due to COVID restrictions. Before I start the names, may I first read out the citation of Sri S. Bhuthalingam Medal given to the candidates for excellence in environmental economics. The citation goes like this. Sri S. Bhuthalingam studied economics in Cambridge between 1929 and 1931. His teachers and mentors include Biggu, Keynes, Robinson, Kahn, and John Robinson. Bhuthalingam thought economics as an organic science, more akin to the biology than to the physical sciences. He considered economics as more of an evolutionary process where a multiplicity of causes work together rather than an exact science strictly governed by inexorable mathematical laws. Sri Bhuthalingam joined Indian Civil Services in 1931, and after 35 years of exemplary service, he retired in 1966. After retirement, he was appointed as one-man committee to look at the reform of direct taxation. Subsequently, he became the Director General of the National Council for Applied Economic Research and NCAER. He was known for his integrity, confidence, and conviction. I now read out the names of the medal winners. I'll start with the batch 2018-20. The medal, Bhuthalingam Medal for Excellence in Environmental Economics goes to Ms. Deepshika Jha. Canara Bank Medal in Excellence in General Economics goes to Ms. Tanya Gupta. For the 2019-21 batch, Bhuthalingam Medal in Excellence in Environmental Economics, Ms. Aishi Savadar. MSE Medal for Excellence in Actual Economics goes to Mr. Nishant Parashar Malik.
Just stand here one. Stand here for the photo.
MSc Medal for Excellence in Financial Economics goes to Ms. Shreya Mary Abraham. I will now call upon the medal winners from the batch 2020-22. Bhuthalingam Medal for Excellence in Environmental Economics goes to Ms. Nikita Jain. Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in Applied Quantitative Finance goes to Ms. Ritvika Mitra. Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in General Economics goes to Mr. Tejas Hirave. MSc Medal for Excellence in Financial Economics goes to Ms. Shushri Sucharita. I now call upon the students from the batch 2021-23. Bhuthalingam Medal for Excellence in Environmental Economics goes to Ms. Animita Hajara. Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in General Economics goes to Mr. Himanshu Malhotra.
Just look this side.
MSc Medal for Excellence in Actuarial Economics goes to Ms. Ankita Ghosh. MSc Medal for Excellence in Financial Economics goes to Mr. Rahul Gupta. Sir, the following students could not come in person. We are declaring their names winning the gold medals in absentia. For the 2018-20 batch, Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in Applied Quantitative Finance goes to Mr. Shaunak Ghosh. MSc Medal for Excellence in Actuarial Economics goes to Ms. Gunjan Kandelwal. MSc Medal for Excellence in Financial Economics goes to Mr. Karan Parashar. In the 2019-21 batch, Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in General Economics goes to Mr. Sankalp Sharma. Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in Applied Quantitative Finance goes to Mr. Ankit Soam. From the 2020-22 batch, MSc Medal for Excellence in Actuarial Economics goes to Ms. Madeline Ann Jacob. From the 21-23 batch, Canara Bank Medal for Excellence in Applied Quantitative Finance goes to Ms. Anupama Gupta.
So the most awaited moment is here. Our chairman would be awarding the degree certificates to the 2021-23 batch students, and our academic coordinator Dr. Amrita Chatterjee will read out the names. Please follow the order of your seating and please collect the degree certificates.
Thank you and good morning to all. Sir, I present unto you these candidates who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree MA in Economics under different programs for the academic year 2022-23. We are starting with Actuarial Economics. Abhishek Sahu. Ankita Ghosh. Chetna Godawara. Darshika Anchalia. Darshika. Dave Sharma. Jogrish M. Kushi Arora. M. Suviksha. Marshall Matthew. Nikita J.S. Pratik Vasavaraj. Rohini Ekbote. Suchita Gujjar. Yash Tikchandani. ESV Kainath. Now we are starting with Applied Quantitative Finance. Ahili Maiti. Adarsh Ajit, Akash Jyoti Banik, Aman Gupta, Andiran Kandan, Anupriti Batra, Arunima Krishnan, Astha Kushwaha, Chaman Surana, Devshri, Gaurav Das, MB Akash, Nandana Datta, Nivedita N, Rohit Anthony, S. Harishini, Tanish Parikh, Vivek Singh Kushwaha, Atmaja Das, Prityanshi Singh, Rechna Ramesh, Shobhan Mahapatra. Now we are going to start with environmental economics. Aritra Mandal, Chandrani Kumari, James Bharti, Lavanya Venugopal, Madhusri Sarkar, Muskan Alawat, Pritesh Balraj, Renuka Devi, Renuka Devi, Sakshi Shokin, Karan Kumar, Sejal Agarwal. O.R. Pravanchana. Now starting financial economics. A. Tarun. Kunal Gupta. M. Ashwin Kumar. Muskan Bhagat. Muskan Khanna. Nandana M. Prabhashish Singh. Raghavi R. Rahul Gupta. Rishabh Bansali. Pranitha. Vagisha Malik. Vibhuti Sharma. B. Venkateshwari. Sai Shiv Aditya. Sandra Kalu. Soundarya R. Now starting with general economics. Akshay Parikh. Anandi A. Anurag Kumar.
Anandi one way more. He stands and without the hat for the photo.
Anurag Kumar. Archana A. Divya Bharti. Mahalakshmi S. Nancy Sharma. Megha Sharma. Navisha Goel. Prarthana R. Sanchita Murmu. Shromantika Shikdar. Bhushan Sabali.
Stand from. You look here.
Thank you, sir. Now we are going to read out the names who are going to get the certificates in actions here. Starting with Actuarial Economics, Saika Datta. MA Applied Quantitative Finance, Rhythm Gain, Anupama Gupta, Sushant Saini. Environmental Economics, Devushmita Saha, Dia Ushain, Shivam Verma, Yugantika Guha. Financial Economics, Dipali N. Vyas, Karan Katoj, Safa Tabassum, Shubham Kumar, Sri Ranjini K, Yogesh Saini, Rahul Gupta. General Economics, Abdul Hanan Zargar, Alok Raj, Anjali, Arpit Adlakha, Haritha Shivalingam, Nikhilesh Anusha N, Saurav Kumar, Sharik Ahmed, Evin Anthony, Muhammad Abdul Majid Bhatt and Raj Kumar B. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Amrita. May I request Dr. Rakesh Nigam, Principal, MSE Business School, to read out the names of postgraduate diploma students who have gained their successful completion of the course.
To all of you, sir, I present unto you these candidates who have been certified for examination to be duly qualified to receive the postgraduate diploma in management, in finance and research and business analytics programs for the academic year 2022 and 23. So I'll read out the gold medalists first. They should come to the front. Rajeshwari, Finance. And Anuvashini, Research and Business Analytics. So the medals will be awarded during the Ramchandran Memorial Lecture. So this is just to, take the congratulations to you. Now I read out the degrees which are going to be awarded. First, Finance, Aditi Shankar. Anjali Kumar, Ardra, Harigovind, so Harigovind looks to be very popular. Kailash, Nitin Venkatesh, Rajeshwari, Priya Jessica, Rituraj, Saurabh. So now we are awarding the degrees for the Research and Business Analytics program. Abhishek Srikanth, Ranjan Krishnan, Anuvarshini, Christina, Akash, Pranav Srinivas, Naveen, Chelcia, Srimati, Sudarshan, now in absentia the degree awardees are Anushri, Finance, Charles John, Research and Business Analytics, Himanshu Shekhar, Research and Business Analytics, Sandeep Kumar, Research and Business Analytics, Thudarudra Kumar, Research and Business Analytics. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Rakesh Nigam. All the degree awardees are requested to stand. At this point, our chairman will lead the graduates in administering the pledge. Students will repeat the pledge as our chairman reads it out.
We shall in thought, word and deed endeavor to be scrupulously honest in the discharge of our duties in our profession and shall uphold the dignity and integrity of our profession and the honor of our school.
Students shall remain standing as the conferment of the degree is going to be done by the chairman.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the chairman of the Madras School of Economics, I admit you to the several degrees, both in person and in absentia, in the faculties of economics, management and allied subjects, for which you have been declared qualified in this school. And it is in token thereof you have been prescribed with these diplomas, and I authorize you to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of your degree. Thank you.
May I now request our chairman to please take your seat. May I now request our chairman to address the gathering and enlighten us with your speech, sir.
Professor Karandikar, Dr. Shanmugam, faculty members and staff of MSE, graduating students and their parents and distinguished invitees. The Convocation of the Madras School of Economics held today is an important landmark in the history of the institution. This is the first time that MSE will be awarding its own degrees to the students who are graduating. Previously, degrees were granted by the universities with which MSE had a memorandum or understanding. MSE was recognized as an institution of special importance with degree granting power with the passing of the Madras School of Economics Act 2020. This year, the degrees will be granted to students who had gone through the MA program in economics. Diplomas will be granted to postgraduate students in management program. Students from other programs will be granted the degrees and diplomas in the coming years. MSE was set up originally 30 years ago due to the vision and courage of Dr. Raja Chellaya to do research in economics and to provide high quality education in economics. MSE has grown in size and diversity. It is and will be our endeavor to maintain and make MSE an educational institution of world-class excellence. We are indeed very grateful to Dr. Karandikar for accepting our invitation to deliver the convocation address. He is, as you all know, a distinguished mathematician and statistician, and there is great expectation that under his leadership, the National Statistical Commission will play its role in ensuring that the data made available by the government are credible, timely, and adequate. Dr. Karandikar today sounded a note of caution on how data should be used, particularly in the context of the emergence of big data. He cited a more recent example of the omitted variable bias. Big data protagonists argue that through big data we can discover correlations and behavior patterns that can offer us normal and infallible insights which can trigger theory. As I have remarked earlier on an occasion, both in statistics and economics, we start from the theory and then try to test whether the theory is appropriate or not using the available data. Theory told us about what kind of a relationship might exist between any two variables or any set of variables. But with this process to be reversed, big data provides us with correlations of various sorts that essentially triggers theory. Therefore, from theory to correlation, will we be able to go from correlation to theory? Obviously, both are problems and both are difficult, but certainly we cannot completely omit the essence of what is now happening. Karandikar cited some examples of medical science, so to say, in which they have gone wrong. There are other examples in which actually the correlations have led to some good theory. In fact, patients, millions of them, exhibiting correlations of various sorts. You probably call it attributes. And that will trigger as to what could be done or what should be done. Therefore, I would wish to submit that there is a possibility of moving correlation to causation, but causation can never be omitted. Causation is the essence, and that is the critical thing. But as we should say, both deductive and inductive logic are relevant in the study of problems. In deductive logic, you make a general proposition and then test it. The usual example is all men are mortal, A is a man, and therefore A is mortal. Yes, you started with a proposition and it was tested with a data. But on the other hand, in the case of inductive logic, you observe, observations give you some insights, and then from that insight can you go to theory. So it is possible much more with big data than with the small data that we have, with which we had to deal with. Let me congratulate all of you who are graduating today. Let me add a word of special appreciation to those who are receiving medals and awards. This is an occasion for celebration for all of you, as your academic efforts are coming to a successful fruition. As you enter the new stage of life in your life, your future is intertwined with the future of the country. But please remember, at the same time, you have the opportunity to shape the future of this country. Youth is full of idealism and ambition. Idealism without ambition may not achieve much. On the other hand, ambition without idealism can become dangerous. May you combine the two in the right proportion. The importance of higher education in building up a nation is well recognized. In today's world, competition in any field is competition in knowledge. The agricultural, industrial and scientific growth of this country depends upon creating a core of well-trained professionals in the various areas. And this can happen only with good quality education. We need not belittle what we have achieved. However, there is an inescapable need to strengthen higher education in terms of quality and effectiveness. The three dimensions of the reform of higher education are access, equity, and quality. Broadening the access is extremely important when we see the gross enrollment ratio in higher education much below what it is in many developed countries. Equity is equally important because education must reach out to all the underprivileged communities in the country. But more importantly, quality is equally important. And it is a combination of these three which will enable us to lift the higher education in our country to even higher levels. I do not want to take this occasion to talk more, but I will only say that as an economist I must say a few words on economics. After the slowdown in India's economic performance in the COVID years, the Indian economy has started moving up. This represents partially a recovery from the low growth rate in the COVID period. This is only partially. Over the medium term, what are the challenges that we will face? I have written on it, but I will only say 2 words or 3 sentences on it. As we move ahead, there are factors, both domestic and external, which may have an adverse effect on growth. The external world is not conducive to faster rate of growth. First, there is the forecast of OECD that the growth rate of the developed countries will have a secular lower growth. They have achieved achieved already a very high level of growth, and therefore that is not going to be seen in the coming decades. Second, there is a change in the attitude towards free trade, which is also becoming very sensitive. So, and the environmental considerations which people talk about also result in some dampening of the growth. So the external environment is not going to be very conducive for faster growth as far as India is concerned. But then we need to depend upon these domestic resources to be able to move faster. But even here, like the environmental considerations, may put a damper on growth. But nevertheless, to summarize, I would say that raising the savings and investment rate, improving the skill acquisition of the young entrants into the labor market, and adopting a technology mix which is employment friendly, or areas or issues on which the country must focus on to achieve a growth rate at 7 to 7.5% per annum if we really have to lift our economy. In this task that lie ahead, you, the graduating students, can play a big role. Please also remember, we often talk about corporate social responsibility, but there is also an individual or personal social responsibility. Please remember this as we move ahead in your life in the coming years. And therefore, you have a big future before you. And your role in shaping the economy depends upon your own attitude, not only to the promotion of yourself, but also to those who are around you, who have not had the privilege of having the kind of higher education that you have had. Therefore, that is something that you should bear in mind all the time. Once again, congratulations and good wishes all the way. Thank you.
Thanks to our chairman. May I now request our director and chairman to sign the register of graduates being awarded with the degree in presence and in absence here. May I call upon our chairman to declare the dissolution of the convocation ceremony.
I declare the convocation closed.
I request our chairman to felicitate our MSc faculty members who have completed their decadal service and for the contributions of academic and research outputs, and by handing over a memento and a certificate of appreciation. First of all, let me call upon Dr. Ekta Selarka for a decade-long service at MSc. Let me invite Dr. K.S. Kavikumar for 2 decades of dedicated service. Dr. Brinda Vishwanathan for 2 decades of service. Finally, it's time for me as the controller of examinations at MSE to read out the vote of thanks. The Convocation Day is a day devoted for the celebration of the degree awardees and a special moment where you are transforming from a student to a corporate employee or a researcher or the position in the society. Let me read out a Tirukural. ஒருமைக்கண் தான் கற்ற கல்வி ஒருவருக்கு எழுமையும் ஏமா புடைத்து, which means the learning which a man has acquired in one birth will yield the pleasure during 7 births. So this is the knowledge which we have gained, which we might continue to gain, and that's the other home at MSE which has provided you with one of the affiliations of this master program. So let me take this opportunity to thank our chairman for the entire support and guidance in overall functioning and organization of this convocation event, which is the first of its kind. And this batch is special because you have also undergone an entire transition, and MSE also underwent its transition during this period. We had 100% online program, then a hybrid mode, and then a complete 100% of in-person education which this particular batch had to face. So the same kind of transition was MSE experiencing during this 2021-23, where we grew as an institute of a degree awarding institute which is awarded or declared by the government of Tamil Nadu. So I thank our director for supporting and for guiding us all throughout this entire process and making it a smooth functioning of the event. And I would like to take a moment to thank our Dean Academics, Dr. Kavi Kumar, for overall functioning of the event, and Dr. Amrita, Academic Coordinator, and Dr. Rakesh Nigal, who is the Principal of MSE Business School, and all other MSE faculty members. On time, every time is the support which System Administrating Office has provided us the support, which is Head Mr. Bishwajit Sahu and his team, Mr. Sandil and Ms. Geeta Gunasekare, and all this entire 2 years of academic program from the entry to the exit was supported by the students' office, head Ms. Sudha Bhaskaran and her team, Ms. Meenakshi and Ms. Geeta Mala. Let me take a moment to appreciate them. And director office staff was of huge help in coordinating this entire event. Ms. Satyajyoti, the PA to our director, was of great support. So this is the overall contribution, which is our responsibility, but we had contributed in the first event which we have hosted and we have conducted successfully. Above all, let me thank our chief guest, Professor Karandikar, for providing us this valuable time and blessing our students at this special occasion. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I request the students to join us for the group photo session, followed by which we could join for the lunch in the second floor of the new academic building. First, for the group photo session, we could join in we should be joining in the old academic building.
No, I will take the opportunity firstly to congratulate all the students, and secondly to thank Dr. Zarina. She has put an immense amount of effort.
Sorry, I forgot the exam cell members, Ms. Devashmita and Ms. Rupal. It's our responsibility. Sorry, I missed my team. Yeah, let us stand up for the national anthem.
अधिनायक
First, PhD and batch students, you can assemble for the group photo session. Then the